welcome back to the Global Local Top Tips. And today, sourdough, and we've been growing our wild starter now for over a week. We've been feeding it every day and it's ready to go. So let's get stuck into it. There's loads of different recipes and methods for making sourdough bread. That traditional style bread that uses just wild starter. Fantastic bread, fantastic recipe. However, it takes 4 to 6 hours to prove this bread or overnight. And I'm opting to show you the second method that we use here. That's still using the sourdough starter that we've been growing and feeding for the last week or two. But we're going to add in a small amount of dried or fresh yeast into the bread mix. And what that does, it brings the proof time down to 30 to 40 minutes, which is fantastic because I find that you're more than likely going to use it when you see quicker results. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So here we are, we've got our 500 grams of strong flour or baker's flour, and what I want to do is I want to put a good grind of fresh salt in there, fresh ground leaf salt in there, beautiful. I'm going to add in a good spoonful of dried yeast. Now you can use fresh yeast or dried yeast, and this is just to speed up the process, okay? I'm just going to mix that in. Now I've got my wild starter here, and I've just put it into a smaller container. I'm just adding that in. Now my water. Beautiful. I'm just going to bring all that together. In there. We're just going to turn this out onto the table and give it a knead. So here we are, and the same process as we had before. You're just folding it back, you're turning it around, pushing it back, and that's it. Keep turning it around. Just going to get a little bit more flour on here. Make it easier. Beautiful. Bring it into a bowl. Excellent. This is a clean metal bowl. I've just sprayed it with spray oil, and I'm just going to leave it in there. I'm going to cover it with Glad wrap, and I'm going to leave it to rest for about 30 to 40 minutes. So here we are. Our dough has proven. It's doubled in size, so just take off that Glad wrap and get some flour, and we're just going to give it a light dusting, just crack it down a bit here onto a table, lightly dust that one, and we're just going to knead this back again, okay? The same method as before, and you can feel how soft this dough has got, and you're just going to bring it back, push it forward, turn it. So there's a little bit of work involved in this, but you can feel the dough change in the consistency. Yeah. So the test with this bread is when you touch it and it bounces back, but it doesn't bounce back all the way. So if it bounces back all the way, you need to keep kneading, but I can still, when I press it, it bounces back, but I can still see my fingerprint in it, and that it's exactly where you need to be. So if I show you that again, so we'll press it down and it bounces back, but I can still see my fingerprint in it. That's perfect. Alrighty, so I'm just going to put that into it, bring it into shape. And I've got a greased loaf tin here with some greaseproof paper and some spray oil on there. And I'm just going to lift that in, Okay, there we go. And I'm going to egg wash it now so I don't deflate it when it proves. And I'm just going to egg wash it all the way around. Nice and even so you don't get any drips. That'll show when the bread bakes. Nice and even all the way around. Beautiful. Let that prove, let it prove up the top of the bread tin, and then we'll take it from there. So here we are, our bread has proven and it's ready for the oven. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to put a light line just down one side of the bread, not too deep, just through the skin of it. Okay, and now we're ready for the oven. We're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 180 Celsius for 30 to 35 minutes.